Hello viewers, Folarin Okini is my name and welcome to the Christian Education Department, Nigeria Baptist Convention Sunday School Preparatory lesson for this week. Our topic is a kingdom of priests, a holy nation. And our lesson scripture is taken from Exodus 19, 1-14. Our golden text is taken from verses 5b and 6b. Exodus chapter 19 verses 1-14 shows a crucial moment in the lives of the Israelites. They moved from slavery on their way to the promised land. And here at Mount Sinai, God is ready to bring them into a new covenant. The Israelites moved from being oppressed to being free. They moved from oppression into freedom. This moment in their lives marks the beginning of a new thing, the beginning of a new life, a new dawn. They had experienced amazing deliverance from parting the Red Sea to provision of manna, provision of water, safety, security, God fighting their battles. And here at Mount Sinai, they are eager to have another encounter, another experience at the foot of the mountain. So as a holy nation, God is declaring that He is coming as a holy God to meet a holy nation. That is, when they consecrate themselves, when they set themselves apart for God, God is ready to dwell in their midst and to journey through with them. So being a kingdom of priests is really a concept that shows how God wanted His people to serve as representatives for Him on earth. A priest is God's representative, and here God is making the whole nation a kingdom of priests. That is, God is telling them that they will be of special use. They will be dedicated for His service. They will be dedicated for the proclamation of His glory here on earth. He says, "You shall be to me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation." So this verse emphasizes that all believers have a part to play in representing God at your workplace, at your home front, your community. Everywhere you find yourself, you are to represent God as a priest and a holy nation. 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 9 echoes this very chapter we are looking at. If God is setting us apart for His use, we know that God is ready to do something special through us. Just like through the Israelites, God displayed His wonders. God is also ready to display His wonders in our lives. So our first lesson is God reminds Moses of his past deeds, which is in verses 1-4. And this underscores His mighty acts in Israel's history. It shows God's faithfulness, and we can also rely on His faithfulness to perform that which He has promised. And our second lesson is God demands obedience. Exodus 19 verses 5-8. So God lays out His condition for the covenant, and the major one is obedience. Of course, He instructed Moses and the people of Israel to consecrate themselves. He gave Moses certain instructions to set himself apart, to wash himself, and also the Israelites to abstain from immorality, to abstain from any form of filthiness. And this calls for total obedience, because God will not journey with unholy nation. The practical point here is that obedience is a vital key factor in our faith, in our walk with God. So emphasis needs to be made on the importance of obedience in our walk with God. And our third lesson is preparation ahead of divine visitation. verses 9 to 14. So God arrived on Mount Sinai, and here we can practically say that heaven meets with earth. But for heaven to meet with earth, there are certain conditions to be met on earth. Heaven is always prepared to meet with earth, but earth needs to be prepared as well. And so the Israelites were to prepare extraordinarily this time around. They were to wash their clothes, and God gave Moses strict instruction to set boundaries at the base of Mount Sinai. And they are also to consecrate themselves. They are to abstain from intimacy with themselves. They are to listen attentively to God's instruction. This emphasizes the fact that it is necessary for us to follow instructions. It is important for us to pay attention to whatever God is asking us to do. Otherwise, we will miss whatever God has in mind for us. So our readiness is very important. Our preparedness is very, very key to our spiritual encounter. So, what do we need to take home from this lesson? The first one is to reflect on God's deeds. We should consider the things that God has done, miracles, His faithfulness, testimonies of so many wonders of God in our lives. We are to commit to obedience as well. And lastly, we are to prepare for worship. In Exodus 19 verses 1 to 14, God calls the Israelites to be a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. So this means that He wants them to represent Him and live in a way that shines His goodness, that show forth His glory here on earth. So imagine them as a special delegate of God here on earth. So also we are being called to be a special delegate of God on earth. That is, we need to reflect God's character and we need to show forth God's splendor here on earth. So God calling us a kingdom of priests and a holy nation connotes that we are a family of light here on earth. Not just a delegate, not just a representative, but a family, a big family, one big family of light, one big family that radiates God's love here on earth. Isn't that wonderful? And this brings us to the end of our lesson. This is Christian Education Department of the Nigerian Baptist Convention. My name is Folarin Ukeni. Catch you next time.